Cohort, strengthening the Black Village. I guess you could say SBV is strengthening the Black Village, right?
Yes.
Christy, thank you. Welcome to the show. Here, I'm so amazed to get ready to talk about this class. Is it a class? What is this that we're doing? Is it a class or is it a course? How do I correctly describe this? Because I think this is great for those who want to educate themselves on parenting education that they may not necessarily know. Am I correct in saying that?
Right. Yeah. So Strengthening the Black Village, it's a nonprofit offering effective Black parenting courses to those court-mandated to take parenting courses and to others. The cohort 3 is kicking off in February of 2023. So it's a course that's part of the larger nonprofit.
I love it. So here's another thing. If you are kind of in the court system, that's some of you are, and you have to take mandated parenting classes, this is ideal for that. So it's zero cost for this. It's February 6th through March 30th, 2023. Donations are welcome for the nonprofit. Can I ask you, what is your background? Like, where are you from? Are you from LA or is your?
I am from here. Yes.
What's your family?
I'm from.
What's your family's nationality?
I am.
Oh, no, I'm just looking at because I'm just looking at the picture here. I have an idea, but what is it?
No, it's fun. The reason I'm laughing is because I've recently did a YouTube show with one of my friends, and they were asking why two Latinas were hosting a show on Black parenting, right? But I'm actually half Black, half white, and I was raised in South Central LA, mostly amongst the Black side of my family. And I actually grew up in a combination of group home and kinship care settings here in LA.
I'm getting a Caribbean vibe from you though, like Central America, Caribbean. Is there heritage there?
There's
an
accent there somewhere.
No, well, she's Latina, but I'm also getting a.
No, she says she's half Black, half white.
Not, oh, you're not Latina,
right? So no, I think that probably I do have and always have had a bit of an accent, and I think it's because of the influence of like my Latino friends and stuff growing up. That's primarily the Black people thought I was too white, and the white people thought I was too
This
Black.
is something
so
we've dealt with. Listen,
Yep.
Christy. This is something that me and Krista have
And
dealt with.
Shantae.
Oh, you've dealt with this your whole.
They call me white girl at Crenshaw.
Oh, stop it! There's nothing white about
right.
you. Nothing white. Do you have any heritage from the Caribbean at all, or anything like that? No, or no?
Not that I know of.
Oh wow, yeah. You have an indigenous look to you. I was like, oh, she looks. I was gonna say maybe a little natural Mayan or a little Belizean or Garifuna or something like that. I don't know. Or I mean, I can see Mexico or Guatemala. No, not Guatemala. No, I can see Mexico a little bit. But listen, that's just me. I love I love digging in people's business and their background. Here's a picture of her right here. So first of all, let's get to Reverend. What brought you to the calling to the church?
So, when I was a little kid, right, church was the one permanent in my life, no matter where I was. There was always a church family or someone who would come pick me up and transport me, to church. And it was my safe haven, right? I remember sleeping under pews. I remember Christmas parties. I remember being able to volunteer at Thanksgiving dinner. Singing in the choir. And so I grew up Southern Baptist, and I had never seen a female pastor. So I actually started by thinking about going into social work or education. But the restrictions, right, as far as not talking about spirituality, not talking about faith. And so it came to me to figure out a way to combine my faith. And when I was in McLaren Hall.
You were in McLaren? I was in McLaren Hall too.
What's McLaren Hall?
Awesome.
McLaren Hall was like a prison for kids here in Los Angeles, in El Monte. Oh, wow. It was shut down in the early 2000s. I got jumped my first night in McLaren Hall by one of the staff people. There's a lot of lawsuits being administered right now for sexual assault for a lot of young kids by the staff there. Yeah.
They were actually afraid for me when I got put there because someone told them I was a troubled youth, which was not true.
Yeah, right. I mean, but
so
I mean, we're all
when I-
troubled youth at some
when I
point if
got
we're in the
this-
system, you know.
Well, yeah. So, like, the administrators actually put me in the pregnancy ward for
wow.
my protection.
What year were you in McLaren Hall?
That must have been 97, 98.
Oh yeah, I was a little earlier than you. I think I was about 91 or 92, and it was
Yeah.
I can
But
only
you know what? It had to be earlier than that because I remember us writing letters to Pac when he was in the hospital.
Oh,
So it had to be, what was that, like
96, 95, 96. I think that was in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a horrible place. I mean, there are certain songs that were playing on the radio that are very hard for me to listen to today because it invokes the nostalgia of that place, and it was just my first night there. The guy said I was smirking at him, and I didn't even know what a smirk was. I had no idea. I came there, and the guy jumped over a couch and basically was just like roughing me up. The first night. I mean, within hours of being in that place, put me in restriction or whatever that was the first night, and to this day I still don't even know what I did to trigger that guy. So you know what I'm saying. So I saw kids getting body slammed when you were going to school. It was a scary place to be in because I'm like the level of violence initiated towards the kids in that school was horrendous, and this is supposed to be a place where they're supposed to take care of you. You know, but that's another story. Listen, that's another story. So I can understand your path to becoming a reverend. I'm an ordained minister, if that means anything. I got my certificate on the internet, so I paid $20. So
I'm gonna leave that one.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about strengthening the black village. This is a class that's going to be starting February 6th to March 30th. Zero cost to you. Registration begins February 6th.
Registration is open now. In fact, thanks to the commercials you all have been running for us, we've gotten some students already.
All right, now that's right.
So we're training parents, and we also train people to conduct the courses because we're twofold ministry. We want to make sure that families stay together, but we also want to make sure that we build the village. So space communities, civic organizations, whoever, if you're interested in hosting effective Black parenting in your context, we are happy to partner with you in putting those programs together as well.
So if we can just go over what will I learn in this this course here, and I do believe that every parent, regardless of what you think you know and how good of a parent you are, access to additional information that you may not be aware of, I think, is a valuable resource. So what is it one is going to learn in the spring parenting cohort?
So we use African and biblical proverbs first of all.
Okay.
So we start by rooting it in our spiritual and collective history, right? There's tons of wisdom that parents have had over the ages, and sometimes I think it's become diluted or frowned upon or just ignored, and we don't learn about our histories in school. So part of it is rerouting, right, our family, rerouting the village. So we use the proverbs to do that. We teach about effective communication, behavior modifications, instead of focusing so much on corporal punishment with its roots in slavery, right? And some of the verbal miscommunication and abuse that we've, I think, experienced and maybe subconsciously just made part of our everyday life. We learn positive communication methods. We learn how to reward positive behavior instead of giving attention to negative behavior, which is actually positively enforcing negative behavior a lot of the time.
It's very interesting that this society has a fix for everything, but they have no education when it comes to being a parent. They're just like, all right, so that's your job. Like you're supposed to, like there is no manual on how to raise a child, but there should be, or at least some guidelines or foundation.
Right. And maybe we naturally should know because that's the most basic thing, right? Like, you don't have to have any kind of expertise in anything to become a parent. But I think because of our fallenness, because of all the different environmental stimulus and blah, blah, we need to relearn how to be families, how to communicate, how to love, how to build up instead of tear down. I mean, some of this stuff is faith, but it's also just common sense.
Well, you chose the title Strengthening the Black Village. Does this course have a sense of community attached to it once you leave? Because, you know, we always talked about how it took a village to raise a child. And even when I was younger, and we knew our neighbors, that our neighbors, if our parents knew them or were real good friends with them, could discipline our children and they'd pay respect. So is there a level of creating a community in this, or we're just talking about, or we're just focusing on trying to create a better village of children?
I practice what I preach 100%. So it's definitely about building the village. So we've actually had teachers, mentors, social workers, police officers in the course, because it is about everyone impacting our youth, and everyone impacting our youth should take parenting courses. Okay. But also, after they graduate, there are alumni groups. There's a continued sharing of resources. There's continued engagement, invitations, guest speaking opportunities. And we continue to support each other. You know, my son is 15 and he's walking home after school late, and he got, stopped by someone who wanted to, know what he was doing out at night or whatever. You can get on and talk to a parent who's going through the same thing.
I like that.
And getting home safely especially for our young black men is one of the major sessions in the curriculum. Specifically talks about getting home safe, and we shouldn't have to worry about training our children on how to deal with law enforcement or that kind of thing. But I don't believe in operating off of ideals.
Yeah. Operate off of reality at the end of the day.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen.
And then we can create new realities, but only consciously.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think this is a great thing. I love it. Where can people go and sign up for this if they want to join this? It's from February 6th to March 30th, 2023. So even if you think you know everything about parenting, even if you think you're the greatest parent on this earth, take this course, because you might learn a little something extra that may help you in your job.
And you might be the greatest parent in the world, which means we need you, because you need to inspire some of us who are, just average parents. So our flyer is actually on KBLA's Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
You can also go to strengtheningtheblackvillage.org and find the QR code and registration links there. You can email Rev C.A. Clark at strengtheningtheblackvillage.org.
And I got
you can call me.
And I got 323-804-8469?
Yes.
323-804-8469, and you can call here, and I'll give you that if you guys can't write it down, or just go to our Instagram or Facebook page, and we'll get you out there. I would, maybe I'll sign up for this class. I'm gonna see if I can make some room in my schedule and maybe sign up for the class. I would just like to see. I mean, my son is 20-something years old, but I'm pretty sure maybe there's something I could, give to him at this point. Teach him how to.
We have parents of young adults in there too, because parenting young adults, parenting our children does not stop at high school graduation.
No, it doesn't.
So.
I just my son constantly hits me up for money today.
Is there a course on parenting your parent?
That's a whole.
Let me tell you what I'm going through right now.
Well,
how do we raise these parents?
Christy, I think maybe that might be the next class that you need to talk to, because a lot of us.
We need to talk.
a lot of
I'm
us in our
having the
40s.
hardest time raising my parents.
A lot of us in our 40s have come across a thing that we didn't know we had to deal with, which is taking care of our parents because they are getting into a certain age where either their body is breaking down or their mind is breaking down. And I listen. I could use some help on that one too. You know what I'm saying? I done sent my mother to her room many times.
Listen.
Yeah, and we need the village
Don't
for
come
that
out.
as well because, right, and there needs to be a village for that, right? Because there was a time where we could stay at home and like there was grandma and great grandma and nephew and niece and cousin in the same household, and we don't have that, so we have to figure out new ways to be that.
All right. Well, I love what you're doing, and I support.
Can I mention?
Yeah, go ahead. What you want to say?
Since I'm talking to a strong black man,
Yes.
I just want to point out that the next the next component of our development as a nonprofit is to implement a father mentorship program.
Oh.
Well, I would love to be a part of that. I would. I don't want to say I'm going to like being a part of it because I don't like doing anything I don't want to do, but I would love to be a part of it because I do feel that if there's anything I can offer to anybody else on what I experienced either growing up or raising a child, I would love to be able to give that and be there as a person just to talk to.
Yes.
I'll email you my information so we can stay in contact, okay? Rev
Thank you.
C.A. Clark at strengtheningtheblackvillage.org. 323-804-8469, the phone number. The flyer on our Instagram page, KBLA 1580, and Facebook page. And you can call here, 800-920-1580, if you not be able to write any of this down. We'll get you the information. You always have, Reverend Christy Clark, you always have a home here. So anytime you need something, you got something going on, please give us a call. Let us know, and I'll be glad to spread the word, okay?
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
And if you need me to conduct some marriages, I've got that certificate online that I can do that for you, okay? If you need, just letting you know, okay?
All right.
So
since you put that one out there, I'm going to put out that I'm available for guest preaching or speaking engagements that have anything to do with child justice, family justice, or anything else you can think of. And happy Advent.
Love it. All right. Well, we support each other. We got a village going on right here. Reverend and ordained minister. Yeah. There we go.
Not ordained minister.
All right, Christy. Thank you so much.
I'm ordained. I don't know about
you. No, I got a certificate. I paid $25 online. Okay.
Why the price just went up?
Okay,
$20 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. Well, $25. I paid $25 online. I got my certificate. All right, Christy. Thank you so much.
I guess I feel cheated on that one because I spent like 3 years at Fuller and spent thousands of dollars.
Oh no! I read a website, a couple of things, yada yada, and then there you go. You're good. All right, we got your phone number. I'll email you all my info, and good luck on everything, and we'll talk soon. Okay.
Thank you, and thank you too, Krista.
All right, and Shantae also. All right. More of this conversation when we come forward. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
We may be LA's newest talk station.